He's been around the Q Sports scene a long time. Immonen, 50 years of age. Melling, 44. And it's going to be ball in hand in the opening rack for Chris.
Yeah, their respective World Nineball Tour rankings. Melling is 56, Immonen 58. Nothing much between them in that regard. And I get the feeling this one might be close also. I would make Melling slight favourite.
Yeah, Jason Shaw just asked me who I think is going to win. I said, Chris, I don't really have any particular reason why. I just think he'll get the job done. It's well documented. We all know Chris Melling plays all Q Sports. So he's not really really call him a master of one. Very difficult to master one of them when you're trying to play all Q Sports, but you would have to say English 8-ball is the game where he's excelled at. Obviously he's done well in 9-ball, but probably not as well as he could have done. He'll be the first to tell you that as well. But nevertheless, a very dangerous operator on the 9x5 table. Plays his way into the events, to be fair, as well.
Yes, and also, looking at it from another perspective, Mika Immonen, not the player he was, at his height, he was dynamite.
And in the blink of an eye, Melling takes the first.
Okay, so the day is winding down, but still several losers qualification matches going on. Dennis Grabber from Estonia on table 7. He's 5-4 up on Christoph Reinches. On table 2, Duong Kwok Wang now 7-4 over Piers Labutis. Talal Al-Blushi is 8-4 down against Torsten Homan, the German on the hill. Another German on the hill, Yuma Dormer, 8-3 up on Hong Kong's Robbie Capito. Much closer between Benji Buckley and Jan van Leerop. 5-4 it is to Buckley. Roman Hebler, he leads Victor Zielinski 3-1. Luong Dok Tien and Kostas Kukiadakis 3-3. Sanyan Pelovanovic tried to bounce back from that heavy defeat by Tyler Steyer. 4-1 up on Ramazan Akdag. And Mats Shetner now 7-3 against Stuart Bingham.
Chris breaking with an open bridge, and he does what Mika did in the opener. He finds a pocket with the cue ball. Well, I think Chris would be the only player who's breaking with an open bridge. Loop bridge is the preferred method. One ball's in a little tricky spot, but the fact Mika's got ball in hand means he can get it exactly where he needs to. James Aranis in a spot of bother in his losers qualification round. We've seen SVB beat him a little earlier. He trails Yanni Sikkanen 6-5.
Immonen's always played so quickly, so aggressively. Here, started out with a 9-2 win over Stefan Vigand, then lost 9-3 to Georgi Georgiev from Bulgaria, who's franked the form with other good wins after that. But he's bounced back on the one-loss side, Immonen, beating Hassan Shahid 9-1, or should I say 8-1, and then Ivo Arts 8-5. That's why he's here, still battling away. He lost in losers qualification in this tournament last year, 9-3 to Dimitri Ungo, so wants to go at least one more step than that.
has not worked out good for Mika, so it's a little safety shot. And it's a good safety shot. But Chris should not have been back at the table. Whenever you let your opponent back at the table, you are asking for trouble.
One thing with Immonen, he's perfectly equipped to cope with the shot clock because he's a very quick thinker.
Yeah, so is Chris. Chris is definitely one of the faster players. Chris will be having a go to pot this ball. You see from the overhead before that it does pot. There is a gap. Judgment day here at this year's European Open Championship. By the end of today's play, only 64 will be left. The draw will conclude. And if you want to see the draw, just keep an eye on Matchroom Pool's social media pages. It will be plastered all over them. He's actually played the ball soft. He was trying to play the slow kick to hook Mika behind the 8 ball.
The path to the potting angle wasn't there, but the availability of that really nasty snooker most certainly was.
Chris will be disappointed with that one. He prides himself in kicking. You can see what he was trying to do. He was trying to go off the second rail to hit the top of the 6, just to try and separate the balls.
Yes, I think after that, for the magician, he's going to see the rack disappear.
Wasn't the best shot Mika's ever played. He should have more of an angle than this to get down for the 9. He's got a little bit. Yeah, there you see he had to punch it a little bit with loads of spin, but nicely done.
Being on the one-loss side of the draw has never fazed Mika Immonen. In 2009, when he won the US Open, unbelievably, it was a remarkable feat of skill and stamina. He won 14 straight matches, culminating with a 13-10 victory over Ralph Souquet. What a way to win a US Open, winning 14 matches on the trot. In the vast majority of them, knowing if he was defeated, that was it, he was out. Also, world champion in Cardiff in Wales in 2001, defeated so many good players on the way to that title. So the number of matches, as you can see, dwindling down. Mats Shetner of Norway still 2 racks away from beating Stuart Bingham. He leads 7-4, but there's plenty of pool left in this one. Given different circumstances, this could be a battle of Britain, because Mika Immonen was born in London. Lived in Finland, though, in his formative years, and a proud Finn who's helped Finland win the World Cup. Didn't want contact on the brown 7 ball and just managed to avoid it.
Yeah, Chris doesn't hang about, does it? He sees the shot, he knows the shot to play fairly quickly. Plays on pure instinct.
And another quick rack, back in front at 2-1. When you think about it, Cole, you were mentioning Melling's versatility. He's made 147s in snooker. He's had some good wins on the snooker tour, of which he was a member for a short time. His 8-ball prowess on the small tables under UK rules, well known. And in 9-ball, he's a match for anyone. It's a remarkable career, really.
Yeah, it's very unique just because the fact that no one else really does it, but Chris has always been one of them where if there's a pool tournament or a snooker tournament, he will be there. He loves playing in all the events. He likes being out in the arenas and competing. I'll tell you who else is competing well and all. So Soa. She is currently tied at 6-6 with Emile Andre Gangflot. She was down in that match. I've got a view of the table from where I'm stood. She's got the 8 and the 9 ball left to take the lead.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact deficit, but it was hefty.
I want to say it was 6-2.
Well, I was thinking it was 5-0. And obviously, you are a little further advanced than me.
Well, I presume, without studying the draw, if she does go on to win that match, she will be the only female left, or to qualify rather. She's probably already the only female left in the event, so that would be quite a big story if she goes on to qualify and makes it into the final 64.
Well, Chris Melling beat a female player in the losers qualifying round in this tournament last year, Pia Filler, 9-6. This is punch and counter punch. No one able to gain any kind of control. Just to put a few details on what I was saying about Chris Melling's snooker career and those wins he had over big name players. Well, he had a win over Matthew Stevens and also Luca Brissell, the current world champion. It was very early in Brissell's career, but even so, no one can erase it from the records. And he beat Nigel Bond, who was a former British Open champion.
Mika will swing the cue ball round off 2 rails below the 9. That's okay. He can play for the 7 for the same pocket. Yeah, somewhere there would be ideal.
There is no shot clock, but they're playing as though one is in operation. Getting on with it, refreshing.
That should be good enough for Mika to tie the match up.
Indeed, it is 2-2. We were talking about the common links between these two players, and we were talking about the fact they've been on European Mosconi Cup teams. Well, in fact, both of them have been Mosconi Cup MVPs. Mika Immonen in 2003, and 9 years later, that distinction fell to Chris Melling. Fine careers for both of them, and still forces to be reckoned with. Chris Melling's had a good time at the Derby City Classic over the years. Carl, he's won the straight pool event there, and more recently the Nineball division.
Yeah, that was a big win, that. Singles Nineball champion. They always get quite a lot of entries. I think anywhere from 400-500 players enter, I believe. So that tells you all you need to know. Anyway, back to the action. Immonen to break. It's 2-2. This has got all the feels of a close game.
The one thing these two haven't done in eye-catching fashion so far is break off all that well. That, though, was an exception to the rule.
He'd love to play it in the corner because that would seem to offer better position, but it's a more difficult pot than playing the one in the right centre. He's jacking down. So yeah, this was the issue. Always was going to be difficult to get on that 2-ball. He's sort of on it. If he can play this with top and roll through it off the top rail, that's what he'll do. He always had a lot of cue power, did Mika. Possesses that in his locker, and that was a prime example. Made that look very, very easy. That was a tough shot. Here's another look. Nice. Be good, Phil, wouldn't it, to see one of the you know, the older players, the guys who have seen it all and done it all, won the big majors. Would be really good to see one of them go deep.
Yeah, can't agree more. These two are golden oldies, and if they can catch a gear and recapture old form, who knows? Immonen, I know it's a very small sample size, he's only played a few racks, but this is some of the best pool I've seen him play for quite some time. I was actually watching a couple of his earlier matches as well, and he looked like, well, not quite his old self, but getting there.
Cue ball needs to slow down. That's perfect. It's a nice little angle he's left that. When you're a pro and you've got this sort of shot, you stood behind it, you just think, oh, that's beautiful, it's perfect.
It's Mika over the Magician. 3-2 at the moment. James Aranas and Jani Siikanen. 6-6. That would be a shock if Aranas went out before single elimination. Mohamed Soufi 2-1 up on Petra Urban. Make that 2-2. And what about Stuart Bingham? Well, it's still going on against Mats Shetner.
Well, Phil, I've just had confirmation. So it was 6-0 down. She's 7-6 up. What a fight back this is.
Yeah, the score here, by the way, Shetner's on the hill at 8-5. And this is a really good chance to wrap things up.
Yeah, if you just look at the table to the right of Shetner's table, that's where So was playing anyway. Mika to break, 3-2 up. The 9-ball's moving, but it's going to be dry. This is a thin one for Chris.
One player through recently, Simon Koral, who won the all-Polish battle against Bartosz Rozwadowski, 9-4.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Give himself a chance on this 2-ball. Oh, it always looked a little thick. And the modern day 9-ball, certainly. Over the last few events, if you look where the 2-ball hit, that would have fell in back in the day, but it's hung up.
When the pockets were playing a little more generous on day 1, it might just have toppled in as well, but not now. Not late on day 3. Immonen screwing back. Easy there to overscrew, but he judged it nicely.
Stuart Bingham is still at the table, so Matt Shetner did not clear them balls for the match. Still alive. For the first time, it's going to be a 2-rack lead. And the beneficiary is Mika Immonen. Great to see him playing like this. Like turning the clock back for the Finn, who is 4-2 ahead. Now, from one former world 9-ball champion to another, Torsten Homan, who's through to the single elimination phase, thanks to his 9-4 win over Talal Al-Blushi. And a little earlier, Matt Lynch from Matchroom caught up with him.
First of all, you're into the last 64. Thoughts and feelings after your day's play today?
Well, massive relief. First I played my countryman Ralph Sakay, good friend. You know, it's tough when you play in front of your home crowd and everybody expects you to do well. I played decent, I would say, but in the middle of the game, he really caught a gear and pulled ahead, and then deserved the win. But even my last match, I didn't perform my best, but I'm just happy I'm through to the last 64 this year.
Obviously, it's the second year that we've been here in Fulda. When you came into this week, did you feel there was probably a little bit less pressure on you because you've already experienced having the home crowd behind you already for a year, or did you feel very much similar to approaching last year?
No, actually, I feel a bit more relaxed. Had much more time to focus on myself. Spend some time going to the club in the morning, getting some practice in, and then just really trying to enjoy myself. Obviously, I'm very happy that my friends are here, my family is here, but this year I definitely feel a bit more focused.
Obviously, you had to play Ralph, as I touched on earlier. You go into the loser side in terms of the league draw ahead of tomorrow, so there's a potential for a German when it comes to that clash. How much are you hoping that doesn't happen and that a bunch of you guys can get through to the latter stage of this tournament?
Of course, would be the worst outcome to play Joshua or any of my fellow countrymen, but whatever the draw brings, I'm really just trying to go shot by shot and trying to avoid mistakes and play my...
A native of Fulda, a double world champion and a good guy. Torsten Homan still involved.
Breaking news coming in. 2015 World Snooker Champion Stuart Bingham is out. He loses to Max Shetner.
Yes, another snooker player finding the transition from the green bays not smooth. The one player who's done really well is Gary Wilson, and he's going to be in the draw for the last 64 tomorrow.
Okay, what's Christopher faced with here? He's got a pot on this one. Got a bit of work to do to get on the 2-ball. Here comes the draw shot. Oh, he's got a lot into this. Needs a little bit of luck. Oh, don't know if we can see enough of the 2-ball to pot it. Maybe you can't even see it at all. All the junior players arrived today. There's 4 tables in the corner of the arena, and all the juniors are practicing over there. That starts tomorrow. Oh, and has a look. Joshua Filler's playing with one of the juniors. Obviously it's named after Joshua and Pia Filler, the Fillers Junior Open, so I'm sure Pia's over there having a game and taking photos with all the juniors. Such a great addition, isn't it, Phil? Great idea by Matchroom.
It really is, and the template has been set down by Jason Shaw at the UK Open. His junior event was hands-on. Same thing for Francisco Sanchez Ruiz in Spain. He couldn't have been more involved. And now clearly Joshua Filler also embracing it. And that's good on them.
Yeah, the fact that, the pro or pros in this instance, they're doing their bit and getting involved with the juniors, not just showing up at the end to give the trophy. It's a nice touch.
These two, they see the run out and then just go for it. Four 3 to Immonen. Let me quickly give you all of the scores of the matches in losers qualification still taking place. Dennis Grabber 7-6 up over Christoph Reiches. Xiao Xiao 7-7 with Emil Andre Gangflo. Yuma Dormer 8-5 up on Robbie Capito. Yuma Dormer actually was sent to the one-loss side by Chris Melling. They played each other in the very first round and Melling won 9-7. Benji Buckley and Jan van Leerop 6-6. Roman Hebler 5-3 down to Victor Zielinski. Kostas Kukiadakis 5-4 up on Luong Doktien. Same scoreline in favour of Ramazan Akdag over Sanyan Perlovanovic. Petra Urban and Mohamed Soufi 2-2. And Iani Sikkanen 7-6 up on James Aranas. So is it possible that the likes of Aranas and Ko Ping Chung won't be around for the last 64? Well, Ko certainly won't be. Will Aranas join him as a surprise elimination?
Well, we're going to need a Melling special in a minute. Here's another look at the break off. Yeah, made the one ball, good cue ball, so it was a good break. He's got to pop this ball, rip the cue ball back. Chris comes under that bracket of player who possesses a lot of cue power. Can he get the job done here? Oh, he can, he really can.
I'm going to say something now, Cole, and I think you'll know what I mean. I think at times Melling possesses too much cue power.
Yeah, he has such a long backswing. Where he puts his hand on the table, it's very far away from the cue ball. I think that's what probably let him down on the snooker table, Phil, if I'm being honest.
Well, I'll say one thing. Mark Selby went from good to brilliant by shortening his cue action. He was the most prime example of someone who benefited from being more concise.
We built this one up before the match. We knew it was going to be a classic. We knew it was going to be close. It's not disappointed at all. This is the 8th rack. And they're going to be shared. We're going to be tied at 4-4 in a second.
Not just one winning a rack and then the other coming back. It's also quality stuff. And played at a lightning pace. Chris Melling 4, Mika Immonen 4. I reckon half a century of experience at least on show here combined. Hard to predict a winner. James Aranas did win the 14th rack on table 23 against Iani Sikkanen. It's 7-7, so basically a best of 3 now. Petra Urban of the Czech Republic has taken a 3-2 lead over Mohamed Soufi. Roman Hebler proving stubborn against Victor Zielinski. Zielinski leading 5-4. Benji Buckley's just taken the lead against Jan van Leerop at 7-6. And Emil Andre Gangflo finding a second wind maybe. He's now 8-7 up and on the hill against Theo Sioa.
Dry break in rack number 9. What's Mika faced with? Well, they can pot the one ball, the two balls there. This is a good chance, this. If the pink 4 ball doesn't go in the corner pocket near the brown 7, Mika will have to play for the pink 4 in the right centre.
So many storylines today, Carl, so many narratives, so much good stuff. For me, the abiding memory will be the size of the crowd. Sometimes you can get an incorrect impression about how big the crowd is. They're so well spaced around this huge arena. but they've come in numbers, which bodes well for the second half of the tournament.
Cue ball's just gone a little bit too far. He'll still fancy the job here. It's going into a more generous pocket from this angle, but it is a tester, and he's missed it. Okay, the first big mistake of this match comes from Mika Immonen.
We might be second-guessing Melling's technique, but I'll tell you what, Carl, aesthetically, it's so pleasing, isn't it?
Yeah, the snooker background. My favourite pool player, if you like, who I feel like's got the best looking cue action, is Fedor Gorst. Very textbook indeed. He's been battling away the last 3 days, Fedor. He's made his way through on the winner's side, but every match he's played, all three of them have been real close affairs.
As is this. But now the stock of Chris Melling is rising. He's back in front at 5-4. One match in this round still to begin. That's over on table 2. Ian Pikignac against Elliot Sanderson. Most of the others are well advanced. Dennis Grabber now on the hill for Estonia over Christoph Reintjes at 8-6. Viktor Zielinski 6-4 on Roman Hiedler. 5-5 Sanyan Prilovanovic and Ramazan Akdag. Kostas Kukiadakis just has a slender lead over Luong Dok Tien. Same for Petra Urban. Early doors against Mohamed Soufi. And Emil Andre Gangflo still looking to apply the finishing touch against Sioa. As Carl said, Gangflo led 6-0 in that match.
James Aranis has won another rack. He was playing in a tight old match there. Do we have a score on the Aranis match, Phil? Can you see it there?
Well, that last rack has not been updated. When it is, I'll let you know.
This match has been a story about the break. Both players have scratched on one break, and there's been an array of dry breaks so far. This is an awkward table, though. A lot of you who are watching may be thinking the one onto the 9, but that is so difficult. I'm not saying he's not tempted to have a go just because of where the 2 ball is, but if he does have a go at this, he's got to try and play a good cue ball somewhere. He needs to try and find a 2-way shot, just because the chances of potting the 9 are very slim. Is he having a go? He is, and he's made it! Mika Immonen with a beauty!
You are so right, Carl. That was tough to judge. It wasn't one of those gimme combinations. He was taking the one across the face of the 9 and knocked it in. 5-5. Really enjoying this one.
Played at the right pace and all, isn't it, Phil? Forget the shot clock. These two don't need it.
James Aranas is in front against Jani Sikkonen on the hill at 8-7. They've got so much experience, these two. They've been involved in very high pressure situations. And I think they will both admit afterwards they're enjoying themselves. Familiar opposition, high quality conditions, big crowd. If this doesn't inspire your best, nothing will. Now Chris Melling's already come through one hill match, beating young Kledio Kaci from Albania 9-8. Is he going the distance again? And the problems with the break continue. Now, is it possible he's left a 2-9 combination here? The table's open anyway. Why take the risk when everything is in the open, easily available?
Yeah, the professionals will always try and run the table when the balls are all in the open.
It's the pause of Chris Melling that sets him apart. Takes the cue back, stops, contemplates, delivers. A bigger pause than ones you might see on a rather large lion. And Melling roaring there after the scratch on the break from Mika Immonen. It was just a case of stepping in and mopping up. Again, he regains the lead at 6-5. Really good stuff, this. On only one occasion, at 4-2 to Mika Immonen, has there been a 2-rack gap separating. And these racks are flying by, so when we go to the scores, not a lot has changed. Ramazan Akdag of Turkey now leads Sanyan Pilovanovic 6-5. Same score for Kostas Koukiadakis over Luong Doktian. Victor Zielinski 6-4 upon Roman Hebler. Wouldn't fancy picking a winner here. I think the one who can get something out of his break off.
Well, he's made the one, but he's no shot on the two, I don't believe. No, he hasn't. There you see. This has just been the story of the match. Big news coming in from one of the tables. So who was 6 racks to 0 down, has pulled the match back. She currently trails 8 racks to 7, but she's got 3 of the easiest balls you're ever likely to have to make it hill.
And of course, recently, Emil Andre Gangflo had a very big victory call.
Yeah, he beat Joshua Filler, didn't he, in the Spanish Open. Chris has played the push, so Mika will get the option. So has potted the 9. That match is a 1-rack shootout to see who will go into the draw for the final 64. Mika's still having a look. He can play it or he can give it back. The mind games of the push out. He's up and down, isn't he? So that tells us he's not quite sure. Usually the player would give it back when they start doing this.
Yeah, shot indecision means lack of commitment. If you don't commit, you're vulnerable to mistakes. So I think Immonen did the right thing.
So has scratched on the break.
Immonen knew the dangers. He knew the table could possibly deviate off course. Chris Melling is pointing out that maybe it did. Oh, and that's expensive.
Yeah, the shot's gone wrong. It's always the danger when you're slow rolling it. It's a very edgy shot.
Immonen's decision then to put Melling in, well and truly vindicated, although that wasn't the best. He's hooked on the 3.
Another British player has got his match underway. Well, they're a rack in. It's Elliot Sanderson on table 2. He's playing Ajdin Pikniak. Ajdin's currently leading 1 rack to 0.
Yeah, there's just a snippet of the action. As Sanderson gets a chance to draw level. A golden chance.
Ball in hand for Chris Melling.
And there you see from Immonen something that's been a characteristic of his entire career. He's never frightened to show his emotions.
Well, I think another table's gone hill, Phil. I think the James Aranis. Yes, Yanni Sikkonen. That match is 8-8 as well. Big pressure here. All players playing losers qualification round, desperate to get in the draw.
Chris Melling won his first 2 matches of the tournament, but then in winners qualification was beaten 9-4 by Khan Salim. That's why he's on a knife edge in this match. Terrific shot, so easy there to put a little touch of right hand side on the cue ball and therefore overcut the 4 to middle. It was right into the heart of the pocket, and the positional aspect of the shot was nothing short of world class. But does the green 6 go past the 8 ball? The way he played that shot suggested to me that Melling thought it would, and he's got around to play the shot and realised maybe not.
Yeah, it actually looks tight if you can even see the potting angle of the 5. So fans, you're going to be disappointed. She lost that final rack. Emil Engel Gangflot advances through to 64 stage with a 9-8 win.
Oh, made the swerve on the 5. Can he get onto the 6 and see it? Let's hope so. After a shot of that quality, he deserves some form of shape.
Well, he can't, because where I'm stood, I can see right down the line of the shot. He's hooked. So it will be another jump shot. This is what Melling lives for, though. He loves doing these little exhibition shots. He's got to swerve it a little bit, or he's got to jump over the edge. Yeah, you see how he's striking down?
Talk about making life difficult for yourself, but very entertaining for the crowd.
There's actually a rack on YouTube what has had millions of views, and it was Chris Melling who did the clearance, and it was actually against Mika Immonen. So Mika must be thinking, leave it out, pal. Somehow, Melling has won the rack.
I think Mika Immonen is taking his time out, and I think it's good timing. I'll tell you what, the only thing you can say there, the magician has pulled one out of the hat. What a way to lead 7-5. Melling not just walking out of the arena, strutting out of the arena.
James Aranas is out of the tournament. Big news. He loses to Jani Sikkonen.
Yeah, Hill on table 23. Sikkonen coming through by 9 racks to 8. So James Aranas joins Koping Chung, the 2 most surprising players not to be involved in last 64 tomorrow. Pekinyak and Sanderson 1-1. Roman Hebler getting closer to Victor Zielinski at 6-5 to the pole. Benji Buckley on the hill with a narrow 1 rack lead over Jan van Leerup. Ramazan Akdag, he's 7-5 up on Sanyan Pilovanovic, looking to complete not a shock but a surprise. Kostas Kukiadakis 7-6 up on Luang Duk Tien. And Petra Urban, who's played for the Czech Republic in the World Cup of Pool on more than one occasion, keeping Mohamed Soufi at bay right now. It's 4-3. So, after a very busy day of pool, only 7 matches are still being played. Now, tomorrow sees the start of the fillers junior competition. One of the players taking part will be Sky Vandenberg, and you're thinking, Vandenberg? That's a famous name in pool. You're right. He's the son of Nick Vandenberg, who was involved in this tournament earlier this week, and a little while ago we caught up with them.
I'm back in the practice room with father-son duo Sky Vandenberg. Nick Vandenberg, 8-time Mosconi Cup player. We've had some battles over the years. Nick, first of all, how are you doing? Obviously the event has not gone too well for you.
No, the event is done. I played 4 matches, won twice, lost twice. The matches that I lost, I played pretty good, but my opponents played lights out. I got down 4-0, 5-0 without even getting a chance. So I was satisfied with my game, but just couldn't get over the line in the games that my opponents played really good.
Are we going to see you back playing in more of these events? And obviously a few years ago you retired, but obviously the Q's come back out.
yeah, blood goes where it can go, right? Yeah, I want to be like a part-time pro, and when the tour gets bigger and more interesting, I would love to get back.
Obviously, usually you'd have gone home by now because you're out, but you've got to stay and watch your boy. How exciting, you know, how thrilled are you that your lad's playing pool?
Thrilled, excitement, but also it's not easy to watch your son play. He's only playing for a year. He really got the pool buck. He's been playing day in, day out. Yeah, would love to see him play tomorrow.
Sky tomorrow, Junior Open, Killer Fillers. How excited are you to get out there and play with all the pros around you?
Yeah, I'm very excited, and yeah, I hope I win some matches. I don't think so, but I'm trying my best.
Has your dad been coaching you?
Yeah, he's coaching me. Not a lot, because the relationship, son and dad. But yeah, he's trying to coach me.
Have you been beating him when you play? Has he let you win, or do you actually beat him?
No, he beat me, but yeah, sometimes he let me win.
Have you been watching some of the old footage of your dad playing, obviously in the Moscone Cup, World Cup of Pool and all this?
Yeah, of course, and I really like it to watch it.
Can he win the Killer Filler Juniors Open? You know, obviously I've never seen him play yet. Obviously he said he's only been playing a year. What's his game like?
It's attacking, very attacking, like all the youngsters do. Yeah, as we said, only playing for a year. We see this as a big experience for him to get a play on a big stage and see where it goes. I mean, anything can happen in Nineball, you know.
Last question. Are you going to do better than your dad this week?
I hope so.
That's not that hard. There's only 52 players and I've finished 129th or something.
Listen, guys, Sky, good luck tomorrow. Nick, always a pleasure. Good to see you. Let's see how you go.
Smashing father and son together there with a shared Liverpool. Good interview, Carl. Well done. And the Fillers Junior Open begins tomorrow, and the final, I'm led to believe, will be streamed. Lots of talent involved in that one. Tell you what, it's been a while since these two played junior pool. No internet back then, no mobile phones. They went to the event on a horse and cart. The last bit wasn't true, but you know what I mean.
This looks to be dry. Yes, it is dry. Mika can see the potting angle as well. Oh, he's missed the one ball. That could prove to be costly for Mika Immonen. That was a good chance. At this level, you just can't be missing these. Look where the balls were as well. It was a real good chance. Now that's been passed over to Chris. It's a chance to get on the hill. Cue ball needs to slow down. It's going a bit close to the two. Oh.
Now that was a bad mistake because he had a large margin of error there. It wasn't one where he had to be very precise with the white.
Yeah, anywhere really. Such a good potter. He could even just left the cue ball in the break box. He'd have been fine. It's just a reprieve. Trying to get the cue ball near the 8, using the 8 and the 9 as a blocker, and that's what he's done. Good safety.
With the cue ball still in motion, he was a little concerned he might have made a thicker contact on the 5, but he's okay. And Immonen, in escaping, has given up the pot. Not easy, but it's there, and we know Melling's potting abilities.
the miss came because he had to play a good cue ball. He had to play it very delicate to get the cue ball stopping. You can see there, it's quite a steep angle, that. Actually went really close when you look at the overhead, so it just shows you how brutal them middles can be. How big's this rack now? Both players have had an opportunity. Chris to get on the hill, Mika to pull to just one behind. I think he's got to kick this ball as well. Not easy to kick safe. Not easy to kick safe. Is he going to leave this combo? No, that's not bad. He'll be happy with that. Chris could play into the rail full, off the rail into the 5 to pot the 5. I'm not really sure what Mika's doing here. Chris was just looking if it was touching the rail, because if it is, another ball has to hit a rail after contact, but that will happen because he's not just going to roll the cue ball onto the 2 ball, is he?
Two things needed there. One was to avoid the 5, which he did with the 2 ball. The other one was to just dink the cue ball forward, and he's done it enough.
Two ball won't pop. Can't play the combo. So he's going to have to find a good safety shot somehow. Or a Melling special, one or the other. Good to see Chang Jung Ling through to the final 64. Always enjoy watching him. Not had the pleasure of seeing him on the stream table yet.
Yeah, suffered a hiccup in the winners' qualification, but bounced back with a 9-1 win over Babkin Melkonian. Oh, it was almost a Melling special on the 6.
Yeah, he played the combo bank. Very close. That just shows you how difficult of a shot he was faced with. He had to get the cue ball out of the way as well. Just look at that ball. Oh, it didn't go in. Ooh, doesn't want to go in. Now, can Chris see enough of the 2 ball to cut it onto the 6? He must be able to, because he's come round and had a look.
So many shots they've played on this 2.
Got to make sure he doesn't hit that gap.
And finally, the stubborn 6 falls in. It refused to go for Immonen. It's in for Melling, and now for the 3rd time he has a chance to reach the hill. For the 2nd time, he has a wonderful chance.
Cue ball is going very close to the centre. That will have been a bit of heart in mouth for a second. If you've never played Nineball, you can't appreciate how fast these tables actually are until you play, especially the main table, because the main table's got different lighting above it. Big old lights, so it warms the slate up. Look at this ball rolling. Just keeps going. Doesn't want to stop.
That's what I said earlier. He strikes the ball so sweetly that he generates too much backspin at times. Needs to clear the 7 ball and does so. The hard work might be over.
Yeah, hit that a little thick. That would have pleased him. Nicely done. Perfect on the 8. That is job done in this rack. Chris Melling is just a ball away from getting himself on the hill. Mika Immonen is going to have it all to do to advance.
Yes, the versatile Cuman from Yorkshire is 3 racks ahead with a possible 4 to play. Benji Buckley and Jan van Leerop. Hill in that one over on table 9. Roman Hebler has now hit the front against Victor Zielinski. Hebler suffered that real setback earlier on in the week when he was 8-4 up on Johan Chua. Had opportunities to cross the line, didn't take them, was eventually beaten 9-8. But he's recovered well on the 1-loss side. That would be a really good win over Zielinski. Ian Pekinyak, 3-2 up on Elliot Sanderson. That's available on the Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel over on table 2. Luong Doktien and Kostas Kukiadakis, 7-7. I can tell you, Ramazan Akdag of Turkey has beaten Sanyan Perlovanovic 9-6. And Petra Urban, 5-3 up on Mohamed Sufi.
Fell in for a minute. I thought it was going to be dry. I'm sure Mika did as well, but a random ball has found its way into a pocket. Now, does Melling go for a Melling special? Is he going to go for the bank in the bottom right corner? Full-blooded to win the match. Get the cue ball, 2 rails for a shot on the 2. Come on, Chris, you know you want to play it. The showman you are. Safety shot's not easy, that's the problem. I know Chris can also play the push out, but where are you going to push out to anyway? The bank, he's on, but he's playing the push. Mika just not interested in getting up to look. It's very rare. Usually you would go around and have a look at your options. He just gave him the finger and said, carry on, pal. Kind of like what he's done. I think he purposely moved the 5 over there. What's going on here then? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah. I don't think he's played the bank. Well, he can't have done because of the way he played the cue ball. Plus, why play the bank then and not the first down?
No, you're right, he's played in behind the 5, but didn't achieve it.
Well, I'll tell you what, he'd be delighted where that cue ball's finished. Never can be sure when you're running into balls. So the fact that it double kissed the 9 and landed there is very handy indeed.
All you can do is keep pegging away. We've seen this week much more unlikely recoveries than this. There's no danger of Melling being complacent. He knows the job is far from done. And he knows that Immonen is capable of suddenly finding an inspired streak.
Oh, it's a little thick, but it's another rack. We've seen many a match, Phil, haven't we? Won from 8-5, 8-6, so this match is not over by any stretch.
It is not. The tussle continues. It is veteran against veteran, and no one's leaving disappointed. Chris Melling's lead reduced to 8-6. On table 9 it remains 8 racks each, Benji Buckley and Jan van Leerup. On table 12, also tied up the score, Roman Hiebler and Victor Zielinski. It remains on table 2, Ian Pikignac 3-2 up on Elliot Sanderson. On table 20, Luong Doc Tien now in front against Kostas Koukiadakis by the odd frame at 8-7. Petra Urban pulling away from Mohamed Soufi to 6-3. And that's your lot, the only ones left out there.
Struggled with the break, Mika has, but he will have glanced around the table and, you know, at least he's not left Chris straight in to win the match, so it's going to be a push out. Changing the break rule, Phil, I know we do speak about, well, I do, I know that for sure, but this break format is miles better, isn't it? You just see a lot more variety in the game, and I know we play winner breaks, but you don't really see players running 5, 6, 7 packs like you would do if the one was on the spot.
Yeah, when you were going to the theatre all those years ago for your entertainment, that was called variety. And that's what you need in sport. Lots of permutations. I think it's definitely helped the more skilled, the more savvy player.
Kicking at this from the back rail, the one ball could hit the 6 or the 3. There's not much of a gap there. Yeah, you see how it hit the 3? So you're going to need a little bit of fortune. Fortune is what he got. I mean, don't get me wrong, he knew the 7 was there. The cue ball was always going to slide over that way, but it was more the one ball hitting the 3. Turned out very nice. World Nineball Championship runner-up Mohamed Soufi is out in the arena playing.
Yeah, not going well for him. 7-3 down now against Petra Urban. And we do have another result for you. Benji Buckley came close to single elimination, but fell short by a single rack. He's been beaten 9-8 by Jan van Lierop.
Desi's come into the arena to watch this one. That's totally fine. You might be thinking, is that putting Chris off? But it's not. Desi, phenomenal referee, so she's got to get in close to make sure it's a legal hit, which it was.
Yeah, I think both players there agreed that Desislava Boshilova should be brought in just in case there was any discrepancy or difference of opinion.
All the referees are fantastic on the tour. Not an easy job, probably the hardest job on the circuit. You know, they're on their feet all day, walking from table to table, racking the balls up, watching the shots.
Yeah, and it's total concentration as well. If you make a mistake, that's what you're remembered for. No one ever talks about good referees. It's always the ones who make an error, which is really unfortunate because they do a very hard shift.
One 6 combination, it's close, it could be made. This is what Mika's eyeing up. Not only putting the 6, that's not all Mika's faced with, it's leaving a shot on the yellow 1 ball. If he does pot the 6 as well, cue ball will be travelling around. Yeah, is he going to get lucky? Well, it's not bad, you know. It's not bad. You're never quite sure where the balls are going to go.
Well done in behind the 7. Had to find cover, and he has done. Another result for you on table 20. Vietnamese representation in the last 64 strengthened by Luong Doc Tien beating Kostas Koukiadakis 9-7. So now just 4 matches going. Sixty places in the single elimination have been filled. 4 more to go.
Now this is a genuine chance now for Mika to pull to just 1 behind. Always guaranteed excitement. One of these big majors never disappoints. Day 3, it's always a fantastic day out of the whole week, and we know it's going to get better.
Now let's not think this for any aspiring player. Yes, there's pressure, but there's no hesitation. He knows what he's got to do, so he just gets on with it. And I think that keeps nerves, well, not quelled down, but certainly under control to a certain degree. The more you think about things, Carl, the more negative thoughts can creep in.
Yeah, that doesn't affect these two boys. Just get on with it, don't they? Mika Immonen won the last two. It's now 8-7.
Even before a ball was spotted, I think we were intimating that this could go all the way, and it might yet. Chris Melling was in command. Now Immonen can smell blood. These are the matches. Petra Urban 7-3 upon Mohamed Soufi, who in fact has just won the 11th rack, so it's 7-4 there. Ian Pikignac 4-3 upon Elliot Sanderson, and Roman Hebler and Victor Zielinski battling away at 7-7. Tomorrow, by the way, if you're wondering how it all pans out, we've got the entire last 64 for you, and then the last 32 as well. So just 16 will remain for the weekend. It's 9-ball, and the name of the game has come to Mika Immonen's rescue. Both 9 and cue ball into the template.
Yeah, Mika's ball count on his break will be very low. Just not been making balls. But I suppose all that matters is the scoreline of the match. The fact that he's still in with a shout. That's the roll out or the push out from Chris. Mika's got the option, play or pass. This time he's decided to get up and have a look.
Yeah, I think at 8-7, I think that's the right thing to do.
The last rack he didn't he? He just said carry on.
He was 8-5 down then, and I think at the bottom of his cage now he's feeling a lot more chipper.
He's perked up a little bit. Some of the players that have qualified are in the arena practicing. I can see Ferro Gors, Mario He. More of a containing safety. That's not ideal, is it? Not ideal at all. That has changed this rack altogether. He's put himself in a world of trouble here. I think the 2-ball will pass the 3 into the bottom right corner pocket. If it does, well, he's got to try and hit it somehow. He can't play deliberate.
Of course, the configuration of the balls, the environment that Immonen finds himself in, that was created by Melling's push out. Far-sighted, maybe. I think the two of them are looking for a referee. It's another instance Like the one we saw a while ago, where with balls close together, it's best to get an official over. This time it's Ben. Well, the one shred of hope he had there was tying up the 5 with the 4, but it didn't really work out that way.
All depends on if he can pot the 2 in the corner. Well, he can. He can. It was a poor shot on the 1 ball where Mika fluked it, where he didn't want to fluke it.
He's won 2 out of 3 matches in this tournament so far, Chris Melling. His 2 victories were both close run affairs, 9-7 and 9-8. Is he going to negotiate another nail biter? Miscue! Oh, the timing could not have been worse.
What a time to miscue from Melling. Here's another look. All he's got to do is draw this ball in. This is a chance Immonen thought he wouldn't get. Needs an angle on the 6, which he has. Immonen will have been sat in his chair thinking, my tournament has come to an end. He never in a million years would have thought Chris Melling, one of the best cueists in Q Sports, would have miscued. Late drama here on day 3. Well, he's not hanging about. Oh, he's hit that well. Very easy to leave yourself a little weird 9-ball.
To the wire we go. Melling malfunctioned. Immonen did the rest. We thought at the start of this match it had the ingredients of one that might go all the way, and that's exactly what's occurred. Chris Melling 8 and Mika Immonen 8. But of course, Immonen now big favourite because Melling still ruining that miscue, and Immonen gets to break off in the all-important 17th rack. And let's not forget, at 8-5, Melling had a golden chance to wrap it up.
Yeah, and it wasn't as golden as this chance. Just look at that. I bet he could count on one hand how many times he's miscued. Will he get away with it? Will he get a shot at the table? History will tell us he will, Phil, because Mika has just not been making balls on the break.
We started our coverage today with a hill-hill battle on the loser's side. Loho Sum eventually defeating Khalid Al-Ghamdi by a single rack. And now, late in the day, it's another hill-hill.
Was the cue ball, the timing as well. It might be the only break he's actually made the one in the side, and he saved it for hill-hill. Melling will be gazing around the table to see what Mika's faced with, and it's not a great deal. Cue ball in behind the purple 5. Where's the 2 ball? Chris may be able to jump this. Obviously he's not going to get on the 3 ball even if he does jump it, but at Hill you've got to make sure you just hit the ball, haven't you? It's gone back for the playing cue.
Also calling a referee in. Whoever loses will be feeling sick, but I think if it's Melling, he would be feeling doubly sick. From one hook, I think, to at least a partial hook. Can he see any of the red 3 ball? And if he can, is it worth going at it directly?
Good kick shot, because it keeps him at the table. I think he's trying to get the 3 ball on the top rail. Get the cue ball down near the purple 5. That's what he's looking at. I don't think the bank's on. Depends how much of the 3 you can actually see.
Typical deciding rack. Same in snooker, so many deciding frames end up as real dogfights.
Well, if he's kicking there, he's having a go at the pot. Okay, stand by your beds. He's having a go at the pot in the top left. This is Chris Melling all over. Mika must be thinking, what is going on? As I said before, Chris did that crazy run out that's gone viral around the internet. I think even Chris said it's when I play you. I tell you what, I think he kicks this one in and all and runs out. I've got a feeling.
Just heard him say, why always me? Well, Chris, it isn't always you. It just feels that way.
He'll go close because you can use a guide on a pool table. So he'll know where to hit on the rail to scratch in the side pocket. So he'll just do a few calculations, get the ruler out. I'll tell you what, if he pots this and runs out, we might see Mika whack Chris over the head with a cue. Let's not forget, Mika played the hook first shot. Here we go. Oh, he's missed a 4 ball. I didn't think he was going to miss it.
In the end, the cue ball went well wide. It wasn't a marginal miss. What a chance now for Immonen to pull this one out of the fire.
Just losing the cue ball a little bit if we're being ultra critical. Yeah, just because the cue ball has to start travelling now, but it's okay. Just landed on the wrong side. He can still draw it back.
An insect intruding.
Just got to pot the ball. Don't need to get great on the 9, do you? I mean, I'd have preferred to have been a little bit more off the rail. Slightly jacking down.
What a match! I thoroughly enjoyed that between two players who've had wonderful careers.